Hey guys, Dev here. So I've been having an absolute blast so far in the pre-patch. Been leveling myself a little shaman. Right now my shaman is 29 and I spent the last few levels doing Scarlet Monastery with some guildmates. So my current strategy is to try and do two of the wings as a one pull and using the boosties because like at the moment we're just boosting so many shamans. So I have a few priests as well that seem to be leveled, so it's really easy to just grab a group of 4 healers on Alliance side and have the boosties heal you for the one pull. You don't have like Figurine of the Colossus or anything available at level 60. So this is just some footage of my current attempts at boosting in SM. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll throw some commentary on it and we'll have a chat about what I'm up to. I'll have a little gear discussion showing my gear and talking about it at the end of the video if you want to hang around for that. Let's jump straight into the action. Alright guys, so just getting to Herod's room here. So as you saw me in the intro running through Armory, what you want to do is basically aim to pull no mobs. If you do, just take them with you. Jumping on Herod and running through the dungeon. So basically you want to grab all the mobs, and if you've watched my stockades boosting videos, I cover like how to move and how to position yourself in that, so you should definitely start there. SM is quite challenging, and I do at the current state to do these big one pulls definitely require the boosties to help. Sure, there's some crazy lad out there doing this with no help, but this is just so repeatable, and we're doing about 30-minute levels at the moment, so no one that I've invited so far has complained about having to heal. I kind of put that in my message when I'm looking for people that you do need to be able to heal, and you can't just go sleep when you're getting boosted, which I think is a more interesting way of playing the game. And a lot of people as well that haven't been exposed to Prot Paladins see this coming in and are like, holy crap, like this is pretty cool to watch. So this was footage from last night. I'm boosting a different group of people. I feel like I've got slightly cleaner the more I've done this, because this is not something I particularly practiced on the PTR or the beta or anything. Pally boosting isn't something that, in SM at least, I kind of just stuck to stockades in Classic. And I have to say as well, I have zero regrets about farming the Ratha Scenarius ring. It's putting in heaps of work right now. So as a little disclaimer here, my shaman does die, and that's because I left it standing in the middle of the hallway by accident. And I've also started as well going to the opposite side, so you're further away from the boosties if they do creep forward. But this is last night's footage where my shaman was just slightly too far forward and gets clipped by Herod's Whirlwind. Another thing that I've done since last night is I target Herod now. When we get out here, his nameplate kind of sits above the others if you're using stacking nameplates. And yeah, we're just getting so much damage out here. But swinging on Herod definitely helps to speed the runs up, getting him down at the same time as all the trash. So that's Armory. I just clean up for the rest of this. That's the one pull. Let's take a quick look at Cathedral and how we do that one. Okay, so for Cathedral, the first thing I do is I kill the first mob inside the doorway. And that's because the low-level boosties normally pull it. I mark those skull and X, and that just helps me see where I'm at in the corridor when I've got a million mobs chasing me. And also, because I'm asking the boosties to heal, sometimes they creep forward, and it just reminds them that there are 2 mobs in the hallway. So I start by picking up the lower side, the right-hand side here. And now I've learned that you can really use the waterfall to give yourself some distance to be able to get a heal out. You will get slowed from time to time, so make sure you're dispelling that off yourself with Cleanse. Don't use Freedom, because that's going to knock Sanctuary off. And that's not what we want to do. Super early on in the pull, you can be a little bit more relaxed with your positioning, because you're generally going to be sitting very close to full health. But as soon as you're missing health, start thinking about, especially if your gear is not very good, start thinking about how you position. So I do SM Cath in 2 pulls. Again, just predictable, safe, mostly safe. It's pretty sketchy to be honest, but it is what it is. We I don't think I've actually wiped here yet in all the runs I've done, so like I could push harder, but I think that when you're selling runs to people, risking going slightly faster by being more courageous is not a good idea. You want to be consistent. Consistency makes them trust your boosts. So dropping off there, and I position onto the right hand side there, and then what that's going to do is going to put all the melee mobs onto the stairs on the far side, the opposite side to the side I'm running at, and that just gives you a little bit of time to run away from them. So grabbing the last of the mobs. If you do miss one mob, it's not the end of the world. Depending on my health, I may go back for a stray mob, but this is where it gets real spicy now as everything starts to stack up, and you've still got to pick up those 2 mobs. This is where your boosties need to see you coming. I pick these up. Now I'm going to drag all of this back to the corner to get into line of sight, and this is when I need those external heals coming in. So you see the boosties in the corridor throwing heals, making this really easy. And I'm ready to line of sight around the corner here once my health is stable. That's going to pull the rest of those wizards in. And we're just doing massive amounts of damage at this point. I think I played with details today, and some of these pulls were like 1.5k damage over the life of the pull. One of the priests are just getting a little bit too close. So the wizards here, they do Arcane Explosion if they have multiple targets within melee range. So just let them know that's something they can work at. When I started running with this group, I did have the occasional death here and there as the boosties learned where to position. But no one was mad about it. Right now, I'm the only paladin doing these pulls on the server. I'm sure after this video goes up, we'll start getting some more paladins getting more comfortable with the pulls. But it's a great gold maker at the moment. I've had guys offer me 20g a loop for this. I do Cathedral, Armory, and Library. So the next pull that I'm going to do, we're going to go up and we're going to look at the inside of the Cathedral. Alright guys, so this is how to pull inside of the Cathedral. So really simple trick is you want to run up and just hit the boss. When you do that, it's actually going to aggro every single mob in the room, which is a really clean way to get everything stacked up really quickly. So there's a lot of casters in here that aren't going to want to tuck in nicely. So what I do, I run the whole train outside and I drop a conce on the corner here, and that's going to stack them up really nicely. Now, when the mobs flee, if they have not enough health, or low health, sorry, they're going to walk out into the garden, and for some reason, if they go too far into the garden, they'll often drop aggro, and then aggro onto the boosties. So once I have them all grouped up, I come back inside, and I finish AoEing them inside, and that allows, you can see where the star is, all the boosties are in, still outside, but they're able to heal me through the door, and they're just going to truck me with heals. And that's pretty much it. So you don't actually want to hit Mograine too early because you don't want the RP event to start and get stunned. So bring him down with the other mobs, but you want to basically push him once the bulk of them have already died. And you can use these pillars here just to bring any of the wizards back in. And then we kill the boss. So the boosties, there's a lot of good shaman items for both resto, elemental, and enhance on these 2 bosses. So I do like to kill the bosses, and that's pretty much it, guys. So hope that helps. Hope you learned something. If you did, don't be afraid to subscribe. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.